The Kentuckians for the Commonwealth would be one organization to Google online and find out a more in-depth response to your question. And so I would be repeating some of the discussions that I've heard when I've been on the tour and also visiting with people in the region. My first observation is how many jobs are there actually with mountaintop removal? You all did not see the machinery altogether, but it's massive. It's akin to the tar sands removal of petroleum in the tar sands now in Alberta, the largest environmental altering project in the history of the human family. It's going on now in Alberta. So between the Appalachian mountaintop removal and Alberta, those are just massive projects. Sometimes the film, you get the impression, well, what are they flying over, one site or two sites? There are 500 sites that we saw, that you speak of in your homeland. Those sites are not going on simultaneously. There's companies that will go from one and deplete the seam of coal, and then they go to the next. So they leave behind what is supposedly restored mountaintops, flattened mountaintops. But I think you could see it's very little growing even years after that. The airport where the plane took off of it, and I don't know if you noticed in the background, it was all mountaintop removal. So they've made an airport, and the coal companies have proclaimed that that's one of the uses that can be made of mountaintop removal. They also make claims, ironically, for setting up wind power on top of flattened mountaintops. There are issues with regard to that. The wind is significantly diminished when those mountains are set down. But the employment question, at the heart of your question, is there are more people employed by traditional underground mining. So I don't think Kentuckians for the Commonwealth are saying end coal mining in Kentucky and West Virginia, where these two the mountaintop removal is most extensive. But rather, aren't there ways of getting the coal that we might explore that would be less environmentally damaging? Because if you think of it for a moment, again, the devastation of that, all of the mountain that has been removed is legally to be trucked into a disposal site. And so the breaking of that law is just egregious. The overburden, as it's called, is simply dumped in the valley. So the blocking of streams and the polluting of streams, literally the deadening of streams, is a kind of, it's very difficult to fathom what would motivate a company to do that. And so the profit motivation is clear, but I think the issues become, couldn't we do it in ways that would also employ people? So your question is very good. It's a very appropriate question, and it is the concern of an organization like Kentuckians for the Commonwealth and of others who are raising resistance to the project.